There comes a moment in life when you have to stop explaining yourself, stop apologizing for your dreams, and stop waiting for someone else to understand your path. That moment, that sacred, powerful moment, is when you decide to focus on you. Not out of arrogance, not out of selfishness, but because your growth, your healing, and your success depend on it. Today's message is simple yet life-changing. Focus on you until you win. Every journey begins with a vision, but not every vision becomes a victory. Because most people lose focus before they find success. The world is filled with distractions, with noise, with people who will question your pace, your process, and your potential. But the truth is, you don't need anyone to believe in your dream more than you do. You just need to stay consistent. You just need to keep your eyes on your purpose, no matter what comes your way. When you focus on yourself, you reclaim your power. You stop giving energy to the opinions of others, and you start feeding your own potential. You stop chasing validation, and you start building value. You stop asking, "What will they think?" and start saying, "What do I believe?" That shift from external approval to internal growth changes everything. Focusing on you doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means connecting deeper with the parts of you that truly matter. It means learning what drives you, what heals you, what fulfills you. It means turning your weaknesses into strengths, your fears into faith, and your doubts into determination. It's about waking up every morning with purpose. It's about setting goals that challenge you, not just please others. It's about doing the uncomfortable work of transformation. Because the life you want is hidden behind the habits you're avoiding. You can't build a masterpiece while comparing your progress to someone else's. You can't reach your highest potential if you're constantly distracted by the noise around you. Your journey is yours, unique, sacred, and perfectly designed for your growth. So stop measuring your path by someone else's timeline. Focus on you. Every step, every stumble, every small win. It's all shaping the person you're meant to become. There will be days when you feel invisible, when your effort goes unnoticed, when your progress feels slow, and when your confidence begins to fade. But remember, this progress doesn't always make noise. Growth is often silent. The roots of success grow deep before they rise high. You may not see the results yet, but that doesn't mean they're not happening. The seed doesn't question the soil. It just keeps growing in faith. And that's exactly what you must do. Keep growing in faith. Keep believing in your process, even when the results are invisible. Because your consistency is building something that your doubt can't destroy. The road to success isn't always crowded. Not because people aren't capable, but because most stop too soon. They get tired, distracted, discouraged. They look around and say, "It's not happening fast enough." But winners, true winners, don't operate on emotion. They operate on commitment. They stay locked in on the vision until it becomes real. They focus on themselves until their growth becomes undeniable. It's easy to be motivated when things are going right. But the real test comes when everything seems to go wrong. When plans fail, when people walk away, when the support disappears. That's when you must decide, will I break or will I build? Will I give up or will I grow up? Every setback is a lesson disguised as a delay. Every disappointment is a doorway to a deeper version of you. Pain doesn't come to stop you, it comes to shape you. When you focus on yourself, you begin to see challenges as teachers, not enemies. You begin to understand that your failures are not the end. They're the foundation. Think about it. Every successful person you admire had to fight through silence, rejection, and doubt. They didn't become great by accident. They became great by staying focused when it would have been easier to quit. They became great by believing in themselves when no one else did. When you focus on you, you build something that can't be shaken by external forces. Self-belief. And once you have that, you become unstoppable. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for the right opportunity. Stop waiting for others to believe in you. The time is now. The opportunity is here, and the belief must come from within. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to rest. But don't you dare quit. You've come too far to turn back now. Every failure, every tear, every sleepless night, it's all been part of your becoming. Every time you felt like giving up but didn't, that was growth. That was strength. That was the silent evidence that you're destined for more. The people who succeed aren't necessarily the most talented or the most gifted. They're the ones who keep showing up. They're the ones who stay focused, disciplined, and determined long after the excitement wears off. So stay focused on your journey. Stay focused on your purpose. Protect your energy from negativity. Protect your dreams from doubt. Protect your mind from comparison. You are not in competition with anyone else. Your only competition is the version of you from yesterday. Every day, your goal is simple: to be just a little better than you were before. When you truly focus on yourself, something magical happens. You start attracting opportunities that match your mindset. You start meeting people who reflect your growth. You start experiencing breakthroughs that once felt impossible. Because when your inner world aligns, your outer world transforms. It won't be easy. Growth never is. But it will be worth it. The discomfort you feel today is the evidence that you're breaking through the limits that once held you back. Keep going even when it's hard. Keep believing even when it hurts. Keep building even when no one's watching. You're not doing this for instant applause. You're doing this for lasting transformation. You're not chasing temporary success. You're creating a legacy. Every time you choose focus over distraction, discipline over comfort, and consistency over doubt, you get closer to your breakthrough. You get closer to the life you've been dreaming of. And one day, when the results finally show, when the dream becomes real, when you look around and realize you made it, you'll understand that it wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was you. It was your focus, your faith, your fire. You'll realize that all along, the power was within you. So keep your eyes on your purpose. Keep your energy pure. Keep your focus firm. You may not be there yet, but every step is progress. Every effort is movement. Every day you stay committed, you're one step closer to victory. Focus on you, your health, your peace, your growth, your future. Because when you win from within, no one can take that away from you. And when that day comes, when success finally finds you, you'll look back with gratitude. You'll smile, not because it was easy, but because you did what many couldn't. You stayed focused. You stayed faithful. You didn't give up. So if you're listening right now, let this message be your reminder. Don't let the world distract you from your destiny. Don't let fear silence your potential. You were built for more. You were built to win. Your story isn't over. Your best days are still ahead. The victory you seek is already on its way. But only if you stay focused long enough to see it through. Your focus is your most valuable currency. It's the foundation upon which every dream, every goal, and every achievement is built. Yet, in a world filled with noise, distraction has become the greatest thief of destiny. Every time you let your attention drift toward what doesn't matter, you trade a piece of your future for something temporary. Success doesn't require superhuman strength or endless resources. It demands focus, the kind of focus that says, no matter what happens around me, I will keep my eyes on where I'm going. Think about how many dreams have been lost, not because people weren't capable, but because they were distracted. Distraction is subtle. It doesn't announce itself as danger. It shows up as comfort, as entertainment, as convenience. It disguises itself as harmless scrolling, endless comparison, or constant noise. It slowly pulls your energy away from your purpose, until you wake up one day wondering why your goals feel so far away. Protecting your focus means being aware of what drains your energy, what steals your clarity, and what delays your progress. And then choosing every single day to rise above it. Your focus is like a lens. Whatever you direct it toward expands. When you focus on fear, you magnify limitation. When you focus on excuses, you empower procrastination. But when you focus on possibility, you awaken potential. The mind is incredibly powerful. It will amplify whatever you feed it. That's why the most successful people in the world are not those with the fewest challenges, but those with the sharpest focus. They understand that energy flows where attention goes. They know that what they focus on becomes their reality. When you begin protecting your focus, something remarkable happens. You start to see how much time you've been giving away. Time is precious, and every moment spent distracted is a moment you could have used to create, to grow, to build, to evolve. Imagine what your life could look like if you gave the same energy to your goals that you've been giving to your distractions. Imagine what would happen if you directed your thoughts toward progress instead of worry, consistency instead of comfort, purpose instead of pleasure. There will always be noise. There will always be opinions, expectations, and demands for your attention. But you get to choose what deserves your energy. You get to decide which battles are worth fighting and which aren't. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not every invitation deserves your attendance. When you value your focus, you stop trying to please everyone. You stop saying yes to things that drain you. You stop scattering your energy across 1,000 meaningless directions. Instead, you channel it, sharply, intentionally, toward what truly matters. There's a reason laser beams can cut through steel while sunlight only warms your skin. Both are forms of light, but one is focused. That's what focus does. It intensifies your impact. It turns effort into excellence. It transforms potential into performance. When you stop dividing your attention, your power multiplies. Suddenly, progress feels faster. Clarity becomes stronger, and success starts to feel inevitable, not accidental. But protecting your focus requires courage. It means saying no more often. It means distancing yourself from people and environments that don't align with your vision. It means being misunderstood by those who can't see what you're building. Some will call it selfish, but it's not selfish. It's strategic. You cannot pour into others from an empty cup. You cannot give your best to the world if you're constantly distracted by the trivial. Protecting your focus means protecting your peace, your time, and your potential. Every day, ask yourself one powerful question. Does this move me closer to who I want to be? If the answer is no, then it's a distraction. It doesn't matter how appealing it looks or how easy it feels. Discipline is the art of saying no to what's tempting in the moment for the sake of what's transformational in the long run. It's choosing growth over gratification. It's choosing to stay in alignment with your purpose, even when everything around you tries to pull you away. The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lose focus. They start strong but get caught up in what others are doing. They waste time on criticism instead of creation. They chase everything and master nothing. You can't afford to live like that. Your dream deserves better. You deserve better. Focus is not just a skill. It's a responsibility to your future, to your purpose, and to the people who will one day be inspired by your perseverance. So start today. Guard your focus like it's the key to everything you want. Because it is. The moment you stop giving attention to what drains you and start investing it in what drives you, your entire life begins to shift. You become more intentional, more confident, more powerful. The world belongs to those who know how to direct their focus. And when you learn to protect yours, there's nothing you won't be able to achieve. There is a quiet strength that can only be found in solitude. It's in those moments when the world goes silent and you're left alone with your thoughts, your doubts, and your dreams that you begin to truly meet yourself. Most people fear solitude because they confuse being alone with being lonely, but solitude is not emptiness. It's expansion. It's the space where self-awareness grows, where clarity is born, and where transformation begins. Your growth requires that stillness. Without it, you remain tangled in the noise of the world, unable to hear the voice within you that knows where you're meant to go. In the modern world, it's easy to stay distracted. We fill every moment with noise, music, conversations, screens, opinions, because silence feels uncomfortable. But that discomfort is exactly where the truth lies. When you're no longer running from distraction, you start to face yourself. You begin to see the habits that limit you, the patterns that repeat, the fears that still hold you back. And while that awareness can be confronting, it's also freeing. You can't change what you refuse to face. Growth begins the moment you stop avoiding your own reflection. Solitude strips away the illusions we hide behind. It takes away the applause, the validation, and the comparisons that cloud your judgment. Alone, there's no one to impress, no one to compete with. Just you and your truth. That's where real growth happens. You begin to ask deeper questions. Who am I when no one's watching? What do I really want from life? What kind of person am I becoming? These questions can only be answered in silence, away from the world's noise, away from the endless rush of trying to be seen. There's something powerful about sitting in that silence and realizing that you are enough. Not because of what you achieve, not because of who approves of you, but because of who you are becoming. In solitude, you reconnect with that inner strength that can't be shaken by rejection or failure. You remember that your worth isn't measured by how busy you are or how many people notice you. It's measured by how deeply you know yourself. Sometimes solitude doesn't feel like a choice. Life separates you from people you once leaned on. Circumstances change. Relationships fade. You find yourself standing alone, wondering if something went wrong. But often, that separation is not punishment. It's preparation. The universe removes certain people and situations from your life so you can see who you are without them. You were never meant to depend on the crowd to define your value. You were meant to build your foundation from within, so that when you return to the world, you do so with unshakable strength. During these seasons of solitude, it's important to shift your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why am I alone?" ask, "What am I supposed to learn here?" Every season of isolation carries a lesson. It teaches you patience, discipline, emotional maturity, and most importantly, self-trust. You learn to rely on your intuition. You begin to trust your instincts again. You start realizing that you don't need constant reassurance because your confidence no longer comes from others. It comes from alignment with your purpose. Think of solitude as training for your spirit. Just as muscles grow in the resistance of weight, your character grows in the resistance of silence. The quiet moments refine you, polish you, and prepare you for what's ahead. The person who learns to be calm and grounded when the world is loud will always have an advantage. They move with intention instead of impulse, with clarity instead of confusion. That kind of self-control can only be developed when you've spent time with yourself, understanding your emotions instead of reacting to them. Many people try to rush through their quiet seasons because they think growth only happens in action, but stillness is also progress. Reflection is movement. Pausing doesn't mean you're stuck. It means you're preparing for the next level. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is stop, breathe, and realign. Solitude gives you that space. It reminds you that you don't have to chase everything. What's meant for you will never require you to lose yourself to find it. When you learn to value solitude, you no longer fear it. You begin to crave it, to protect it, to use it as your sanctuary. You understand that solitude is not a sign of weakness, but a mark of strength. It's in those moments that you hear the quiet whispers of inspiration, creativity, and purpose. The world may think you've gone silent, but in reality, you're growing louder on the inside. You're strengthening your mind, healing your heart, and sharpening your vision. Eventually, the season of solitude will end, and when it does, you'll re-enter the world as a different person. Stronger, wiser, more grounded. You'll move with confidence, not arrogance, peace, not pressure. You'll attract opportunities that match your new level of clarity. And you'll realize that what once felt like isolation was, in truth, elevation in disguise. Motivation is powerful, but it's fleeting. It rises and falls with your emotions, your environment, and your circumstances. Some days it burns bright, and other days it disappears without warning. That's why those who depend solely on motivation rarely reach their full potential. Motivation can start the journey, but only consistency will finish it. It's not what you do when you feel inspired that changes your life. It's what you do when you don't. Consistency is the bridge between goals and greatness, between dreams and results. Every person starts with excitement. The beginning of any journey feels thrilling. The vision is clear, the possibilities endless. But then life happens. Challenges arise. The routine becomes tiring. Progress slows. That's the moment when most people quit. Not because they can't do it, but because they lose the emotional energy to keep going. The winners are those who push past that point. They understand that consistency isn't about feeling good. It's about doing good, even when it's hard. Think about the people you admire, the ones who have built success that lasts. They didn't get there because they were constantly inspired. They got there because they were disciplined. They did the work, day after day, long after the excitement faded. They showed up on the days when no one was watching, when no one was cheering, when it would have been easier to rest. That quiet repetition, the willingness to keep going when the feeling fades, is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Consistency is not glamorous. It doesn't come with applause or instant results. It's the small, repetitive choices you make every day that compound into transformation. Waking up early when you'd rather sleep, saying no to distractions when no one would blame you for giving in. Practicing your craft for hours without recognition. Each of those moments builds strength, resilience, and confidence. Over time, what once felt like discipline becomes second nature. It becomes who you are. There's a rhythm to progress, and consistency is the beat that keeps it alive. It's the force that turns small efforts into unstoppable momentum. The human mind thrives on repetition. It's how habits are built, how mastery is formed. The more consistently you show up, the less resistance you'll feel. What once required willpower eventually becomes automatic. You begin to operate with flow, not force. But staying consistent isn't just about hard work. It's also about patience. We live in a world obsessed with instant results. Everyone wants the reward without the repetition. But true success has never been instant. The seed doesn't bloom the moment it's planted. It takes time, nurturing, and persistence. The same is true for your goals. Just because you can't see the results today doesn't mean the work isn't working. Every step you take, every effort you make, is building a foundation beneath the surface. The results always come to those who refuse to stop. There will be days when doubt whispers that your efforts don't matter. When you'll question if anyone notices, if the sacrifices are worth it, if you're even moving forward. Those moments test your consistency. That's when you must remind yourself, results don't show up for the impatient. Success belongs to those who show up long after the feeling has faded. Every great achievement is born from someone who chose to stay the course, even when it seemed pointless. Consistency also requires self-trust. It's the belief that even small steps matter, that your effort today, no matter how insignificant it seems, is moving you closer to where you want to be. It's knowing that progress isn't always visible, but it's always happening. You might not notice your growth day by day, but look back 6 months, a year, 5 years, and you'll see how far consistency has carried you. To be consistent, you must also let go of perfection. You won't always get it right. Some days you'll fall short. Some days you'll feel uninspired or off track. That's normal. Consistency isn't about never failing. It's about never staying down. It's the courage to begin again every time you stumble. It's the discipline to pick up where you left off, even when motivation is nowhere to be found. The truth is, discipline will take you where motivation can't. Anyone can work hard for a day, a week, even a month. But few can commit for years. The people who achieve extraordinary things aren't always the most talented, but they are the most consistent. They make the decision every single day to stay loyal to their goals. They don't wait for the right mood, the right moment, or the right mindset. They create it through action. And here's the beautiful part. Once you embrace consistency, it begins to reward you. You start to trust yourself. You stop doubting your ability to follow through. That self-trust becomes a quiet kind of confidence, the kind that doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. You no longer chase motivation because you've built something stronger, momentum. You move forward, not because it's easy, but because it's who you've become. So when the excitement fades, when the motivation disappears, when no one is watching, keep going. Show up anyway. The results will come. They always do for those who refuse to stop showing up. Every person on the journey to success will face moments of silence. Moments when the world doesn't applaud, when no one notices the effort, when progress feels invisible. These are the moments that test your strength the most. Because it's easy to keep going when people are cheering for you, when the results are obvious, and when validation is constant. But real growth happens when you learn to move forward without needing to be seen, when you can stand strong in the shadows, working quietly, faithfully, and consistently, even when no one is watching. There's a certain power in silence, in a world obsessed with noise, comparison, and attention. Learning to stay focused on your own lane is one of the greatest forms of discipline. It's not about isolation, it's about direction. When you stop chasing recognition, you start chasing mastery. You begin to realize that your worth doesn't depend on the world's applause. It depends on your ability to keep improving, regardless of who's paying attention. That's when the real transformation begins. When you become driven not by validation, but by vision. The truth is, the early stages of success are almost always lonely. You'll spend hours working on ideas no one understands yet. You'll make sacrifices that others can't see the value of. You'll fail quietly, learn privately, and grow internally. But those unseen moments are where your strength is built. The struggle you face behind closed doors is shaping you into someone capable of handling the spotlight later. Every great story begins in silence. Every champion was once invisible. Think of an artist painting in solitude long before anyone knows their name. Think of an athlete training before dawn, long before anyone buys a ticket to watch them play. Think of an entrepreneur failing countless times before a single person believes in their vision. None of them became great because the world told them they could. They became great because they kept going when the world didn't care. They stayed loyal to their goals when no one was watching, because they weren't doing it for approval. They were doing it for growth. The truth about unseen work is that it demands patience. It's uncomfortable to give your all and see nothing change right away. It's frustrating to pour effort into something that doesn't yet bear fruit. But the unseen effort is never wasted. It's building layers of skill, resilience, and self-trust within you. It's preparing you for the moment when opportunity finally meets preparation. The world might not see the process, but when the results arrive, they'll call it sudden success, never realizing how many quiet years went into that moment. In silence, you also discover your true motivation. Without the crowd, without the validation, without the recognition, you learn why you started in the first place. Are you chasing attention or purpose? Are you working to be seen or to become better? When the applause fades and you still choose to show up, that's when your reason becomes real. And when your reason is real, nothing can stop you. It's natural to crave recognition. Everyone wants to feel seen. But if you depend on it, you'll never build lasting success. External praise is temporary. Inner purpose is eternal. The satisfaction that comes from knowing you stayed consistent, disciplined, and honest in your effort will always outweigh the temporary thrill of being noticed. The world may not see the work now, but one day the results will speak so loudly that you won't need to say a word. The silent season is your preparation ground. It's where character is forged and focus is sharpened. It's where distractions fade and clarity grows. When no one's watching, you have the freedom to experiment, to make mistakes, to learn without judgment. Those quiet trials teach you humility, patience, and endurance. The traits every true achiever needs. When your moment finally comes, you'll be ready not just to shine, but to sustain your success, because you built it on discipline, not validation. Sometimes, the silence is life's way of testing your commitment. It's asking, do you still want this when no one is clapping for you? If your answer is yes, if you can stay focused and faithful when the world is silent, then you are already winning, because the ones who can stand tall without the spotlight are the ones who will thrive when it finally finds them. So when you feel unseen, remember, the absence of recognition is not the absence of progress. Growth often hides in quiet places. Keep working, keep showing up, and keep believing. The noise will come later. For now, build your foundation in silence, because the world may not be watching yet, but one day it will. And when that day arrives, your work will speak for itself, louder than any applause ever could. There will come a moment in your journey when life seems to close in around you. When progress stalls, plans collapse, and the path ahead feels uncertain. That is the moment when most people begin to doubt themselves. They start to question if their dreams were unrealistic, if their effort has been wasted, or if maybe they were never meant to win in the first place. But those moments of adversity are not the end of your story. They are the refining fire that shapes you into the person capable of carrying your vision forward. Growth does not happen in comfort. It happens in challenge. You don't become strong by avoiding pain. You become strong by learning to rise through it. Adversity is life's greatest teacher. It strips away the unnecessary, silences the noise, and reveals what truly matters. It tests your resolve, forcing you to decide whether you're committed or merely interested. It's easy to stay motivated when everything goes right, but when everything falls apart, that's when your true character is revealed. You can either let the struggle define you, or you can let it refine you. The people who win in life are not those who never face hardship. They are those who refuse to be broken by it. Every setback carries within it the seed of transformation. The challenge that feels unbearable today may be the very thing that strengthens you for what's coming tomorrow. You can't build resilience without resistance. Just like a muscle grows through tension, your spirit grows through trials. The moments that feel like they're breaking you are often the ones building you the most. It's not about avoiding the storm. It's about learning to stand tall within it. Think about anyone who has achieved greatness. The athlete who trained through injury, the entrepreneur who kept going through failure, the artist who created through rejection. None of them had an easy path. What set them apart was their ability to turn pain into power. They didn't see adversity as winning is not a single event. It's a continuous process of becoming. It's not the trophy, the title, or the applause that defines victory. Real winning happens long before the world notices. It begins in the small decisions you make each day, in the moments when no one else believes in you, and in the quiet strength you build when things don't go as planned. To truly win in life, you must understand that success isn't about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about living up to the potential you know lies within you, even when the world doubts it. When you focus on yourself, on your growth, on your habits, and on your mindset, you become unstoppable. The external world no longer dictates your value. You stop chasing comparison and start chasing progress. The people who truly win are those who have mastered themselves, their emotions, their thoughts, their discipline. They understand that the real competition isn't with anyone else. It's with who they were yesterday. Every day becomes a chance to grow, to evolve, to do something just a little better than before. That is how true success is built. Not through luck or shortcuts, but through continuous self-improvement. But winning also requires patience. The journey is long, and there will be moments when it feels like you're standing still. You'll look around and see others moving faster, achieving more, and you'll wonder why it's taking you so long. That's when you must remind yourself, everyone's timing is different. Your growth cannot be rushed. Some victories take longer to bloom, but when they do, they're stronger and more meaningful. The process you're enduring is shaping you for something greater than you can see right now. Trust that the effort you're putting in is not in vain. It's building the foundation for lasting success. Winning also demands endurance. You will face setbacks, disappointments, and days that test your limits. But the measure of a winner is not how many times they avoid falling. It's how many times they rise after they do. Failure is not the opposite of winning. It's part of it. Every misstep teaches you something vital about strategy, resilience, and self-belief. You learn to adapt, to grow thicker skin, to see obstacles not as barriers but as lessons in disguise. Winners are not people who never fall. They are people who never stay down. The greatest victories are often internal. They're found in the courage to keep going when quitting seems easier. They're in the decision to believe in yourself when no one else does. They're in the quiet moments when you choose discipline over distraction, focus over fear, and purpose over comfort. Those small, private wins eventually manifest into visible success. What the world sees as overnight success is always the result of years of unseen effort. As you focus on winning, remember that success without peace is still a kind of failure. Achieving your goals means nothing if you lose yourself in the process. True winning is not about exhausting yourself, chasing external approval. It's about building a life that feels fulfilling, balanced, and authentic. It's about aligning your actions with your values and your purpose. When your definition of success includes peace of mind and integrity, you'll find that the journey itself becomes rewarding, not just the destination. There will be people who misunderstand your journey, who criticize your pace, who doubt your potential, but your focus must remain inward. The more you invest in yourself, the more confident you'll become in your own path. You'll stop seeking validation because you'll know exactly who you are and what you stand for. When your confidence comes from within, no external force can shake it. That's when you've truly won. not because the world says so, but because you know you've become everything you were meant to be. So keep showing up. Keep improving. Keep focusing on your growth until the results speak for themselves. Success doesn't come to those who wait for the perfect moment. It comes to those who create it. Every day you choose discipline over doubt. Every time you push a little harder, you're winning. Not because you've reached the finish line, but because you're still in the race with unwavering faith. The day you realize that winning is not about the end, but about who you become on the way there, that's the day you've already won. So stay the course, believe in your power, and remember, when you focus on you long enough, the world will have no choice but to notice your light. Keep going. Stay focused until you win.